Hey, what's up, everyone? So in today's video, I'm gonna just talk about a couple Turo things here. For those that this is your first time watching my video, my name is Fred, and I'm a Turo host here in Phoenix, Arizona. And I started out with one vehicle back in July of 2021, just to test it out, see how I liked it, how it would go, how profitable it'd be, and then about a year and 3 months later, I ended up purchasing a second vehicle. So my first vehicle was a 2014 BMW 5 Series, which I still have, which is actually currently out on a trip. And then also I have a 2018 BMW 4 Series hardtop convertible. That vehicle I purchased in September of this year. So today's December 23rd. So this would have been three months ago, 3+ months ago. So both vehicles are doing pretty well, especially considering it's slow season. Even with Christmas, New Year. I'm going to talk about kind of my December, what I did to try to capture as many bookings as I could, as slow as it is. And I'm going to share. So I reached out to one of my guests, the one that rented my 4 Series convertible. She booked it on the 15th, for the 15th. It was a 2-hour advance trip. Luckily with me, I had the car ready. I just went kind of touched it up before her trip started, and of course took some pictures. Now I have my vehicles available in 1 hour. That's the minimum. But in this case, this guest booked it 2 hours in advance. So I think she booked it at around 5:30 p.m. to pick up at 7:30 p.m. So here's kind of what I've done to optimize my settings, knowing that last year, granted, I just had the one car. I had a couple smaller bookings, so definitely now with 2 cars, I wanted to capture as many bookings as possible. So I made a couple settings optimizations to try to be available, show up, and capture those bookings. And the feedback that I got from my guests, which I have here in front of me on my iPad, I'm going to share that because I thought this was pretty interesting. So what I've done to optimize my settings here, and really I think I've done it since before Thanksgiving, is minimize as much as I could the delivery time. My pickup time's always been an hour advance notice. Even if my car's not ready, even if I gotta wash it, I always set it at 1 hour advance notice. Now it's rare. I think a couple times I've gotten literally an hour advance notice or hour and a half advance notice. So it's rare. So I kind of gamble on that. Now, if I have to have the car ready, if I do get that booking, I can make it happen. There's a car wash not far from my house, about 5 minutes. I have the unlimited membership with them, so my cars are fairly always clean, but just I have a certain standard that I want to keep the vehicles looking, so I can make that happen. Like I said, I've added more delivery locations. That really helped me out in September, October, adding more delivery locations. But just yesterday or day before, I added Scottsdale Airport. It's more of an executive airport, so I've added Scottsdale Airport as one of my delivery locations too. I have a couple resorts around there that I had, but then I never thought of adding Scottsdale Airport, so went ahead and added that, I believe, yesterday. And then I did try reducing my delivery cost. So for to the airport, the main airport, the Phoenix airport, I had a $95 delivery fee. I did drop it, I believe, I want to say to $70, just to try to capture more bookings. And unfortunately, that didn't really help. Even the resort fees, dropping off at resorts, I think those were $70. I dropped it to $50, and really didn't make a difference. So I put those, after a couple weeks, I put those back up to my regular rates. One thing that I did, which I really haven't done, well, I've tried this, but never actually got a booking, is I tried unlimited miles. Now, this guest that I'm going to talk about here that rented my 4 Series BMW convertible, she mentioned something about that I'm going to share with you guys. So this trip that my vehicle's on right now, my 5 Series, it's the 3rd trip with unlimited miles, and I'll share with you guys how that's going for me, how the unlimited miles is going for me. Is it backfiring on me or not? So I'll share that with you guys. Also, if you're not, increase your hours of availability, especially kind of during the holiday season. Like for example, a day like today, people are out of work at, 4 or 5 o'clock, 3, 4, 5 o'clock. They have plans to travel to the airport, and then book a vehicle. If Hertz, Enterprise, Avis, if they don't have any vehicles available, more likely they're going to turn to Turo, and they're landing at 8, 9 p.m. and your availability ends at 6, 7 p.m. Well, you're going to miss out on those bookings, especially the holiday bookings. Now, by the time this video gets out there, it's going to be sort of too late for the Christmas holiday, but we still have the New Year holiday coming up here next week. And I did, as a last resort, try to reduce my price. And on my 5 Series, because that price on that is lower because it's an older vehicle, I didn't drop it that much. I dropped it a little bit, I think like $5, $7. But then looking at my competitors, same vehicle, obviously different years, and just in general looking at other vehicles, like your other vehicles, your Accords, your Lexus, Camrys and all that, I decided to bump up my price a little bit on my 5 Series Accord, or I'm sorry, on my 5 Series BMW, and for this Christmas holiday, and sure enough, I got a booking at that higher price point, so kind of glad I did that. But so like I said, I have unlimited miles on my vehicles, and I've had it basically since I want to say after Thanksgiving. I changed that setting. So with my 4 Series convertible, that's really the vehicle I really want to be successful with, because that's a higher price point. So I want to kind of see from the guest's eye what they're looking for to ultimately, what kind of gets them to choose ultimately my vehicle, not the hundreds of other vehicles out there that are available. So this guest was awesome. She booked it initially for 3 days, and then she asked for an extension for another day. Obviously took it. And then when she brought it back, she was a local. I guess she said her vehicle was in the shop and needed a vehicle for 3 days. Well, as it turned out, 4 days. But after the trip, it was great communication throughout. She brought it back. We talked, very friendly, very wonderful. She was a wonderful guest. But I asked her, through messaging later. So I rated her. I gave her a 5-star, and I gave her a 15% discount. So she, after I guess she rated me, she got the notification that I rated her and gave her the discount. So, so she replied that evening after she returned the car. Thank you. I also left a review for you as well. I love the car and appreciate you for letting me rent it. I truly enjoyed the experience. You're a top-notch host. Keep up the good work. So I responded, thank you for the kind feedback. Just curious how you came across my car, if you don't mind sharing. I recently listed this vehicle, which I did, 3 months, and it's doing okay, but I want to know what guests are looking for. Were you specifically looking for a convertible? Did the pictures catch your eye? Were you looking for a car that you could book instantly, which I have instant booking? We're looking for, all-star host. So I was trying to see what filter she may have used. And then I went on to say, I know it was a quick turnaround. My car was available immediately, because again, it was a 2-hour advance notice. But then I said, but I would imagine you had some other options and would like to know why you ultimately chose my vehicle. Your feedback will help me position this vehicle in the future. So this is her response. And again, sorry, I'm reading it from my iPad here. So it says, actually, I did search for a convertible, and my 13-year-old daughter was looking through them and saved the ones she liked to my favorites. And then I went back through them, and I guess it was a combination of good pictures, unlimited mileage, and easy and fast pickup. Your listing was easy and convenient compared to other hosts with the same type of vehicle. There seemed to be too many hoops to jump through for hosts in regards to pickup, drop off. And she just said I appreciated the convenience, ease, stress-free, and she said everything went very good. So this guest, she said she was looking for all of those, but one thing that stood out to me was unlimited miles. So if you believe it, in 4 days, she extended it by an extra day. She only drove 375 miles. Now, even if I had my normal $200 daily minimum, she would have had an 800-mile allowance. Yet she only drove 375 miles. So she saw value in unlimited mileage. I'm not sure why. She didn't take a trip. She didn't go anywhere. Just a bunch of local driving. So I thought that was interesting. So, and then after I did unlimited, so my other vehicle, I already got a couple bookings on that after my setting change. So I had a booking on that vehicle, my 5 Series, December 10th through the 14th, and then it's, like I said, currently on a trip. So unlimited miles actually seems to be working. And then with the other trip, the other gentleman that had the unlimited miles, so again, he had a 4-day, it was December 10th through the 14th, so he had it for 4 days as well, and he drove 354 miles. So again, even if I had my normal 200, he would not have exceeded that. So, and then this trip that it's currently on, so they drove to like Palm Springs area, Palm Springs, California, which is, I want to say, maybe around 250 miles from here. So about 500 miles round trip, roughly. And, so that they have a 3-day trip. And so normally if I had the 200-mile limit, it would have been a 600-mile allowance. So they literally told me they're just going to drive there. It's a huge resort where they're not going to have to leave or go anywhere. And then they're going to come back. And actually he left his car here at my house. Since we're on that topic, I've kind of thought about, like, should I continue to use my home address as a pickup location? Honestly, I've had all these trips that I've had, I've never had any issues, and most of them have been picked up at my house. So I guess, if I see red flags, of course, I would cancel a trip. I've never actually canceled a trip. Again, pretty much all my guests have been great, except I had one weed smoker in the car that, beat my car pretty well, not physically, but drove a lot. I don't know if there was drugs involved, but they were driving a lot, all hours of the day, and drove a lot of miles. And at that time I didn't have unlimited miles, so I got him good for extra mileage. They used poor, so my vehicle's like premium, and I could tell they used cheap gas. So, but everything's good. I mean, I got the car clean, the smell out, that vehicle runs like a dream. So, it really depends, as far as, knowing your area, knowing the type of people you may be getting, you know, like I said, I've thought about using maybe there's a Walgreens, there's a Walmart, making that the pickup location, and I might, but again, I haven't really had any issues. So, and you know, if I get someone that books and you know I just see kind of red flags or something that you know my gut says, no, don't run to this individual, I can always cancel, and you know, if they feel the need to ask why I canceled, I could always say I have the check engine light on. I don't want to, you know, I'm not supposed to give you a vehicle with the check engine light on, and nor would I want to, even if I could. So just make up an excuse. But yeah, so the unlimited mileage. Now I'm not going to keep it on forever. So here we're going to have the Super Bowl here in February. That first couple weeks of February, I think, will be extremely busy, and you know, my price for my vehicles will be probably as high as it'll ever be for both of them. And then from there we have the Phoenix Open, which is a major golf tournament. I think it's that same weekend as the Super Bowl, if I'm not mistaken. And then from there we got right after that we got the baseball spring training. So it's gonna be pretty busy here after January. So I'm probably gonna keep the unlimited mileage till probably mid-January to the third week of January. And that way, if I don't have any bookings for like these events in February, I'll be able to have my 200 miles per day for those trips moving forward. But if we do get those types of trips, people coming in from the Super Bowl or Phoenix Open or for spring training, most people are not traveling far anyways. They're gonna stay here locally. So I'm not worried about mileage, even if I keep it at unlimited for the first quarter of 2023. But I will put it back at 200, maybe 250. But again, so the unlimited is working out pretty well for me so far. So I wanted to definitely share that. So again, just kind of a surprise feedback. You know, someone that drove, you know, less than 400 miles, less than 100 miles a day, which by the way, where she lived, she told me kind of the area where she lived probably a good 30 miles from from my house. So of the 375 miles, easily 50 to 60 of them was her going there to her house, going to her area, and then ultimately bringing the car back to where I'm at. So if you think about it, she only drove like just over like 300 miles of her own personal use, outside of taking the car there and bringing it back. So there's a couple things here. Now again, my 2014 BMW is out. I'm trying to get my 2018 convertible booked. So right now I just changed my setting before I started filming this video. Again, I always have it on 1 hour advance notice, but I did 2 hour advance notice for delivery. But what I'm going to do is after I finish filming this video, I'm going to change it to an hour advance notice. So that way I can get those last minute travelers coming in from, you know, from other parts of the country, which, you know, a lot of the Midwest and Northeast and most of the country is unfortunately hammered with travel delays, cancellations due to weather. From what I hear, high winds, cold temperatures, snow. So luckily here it's about 70 degrees here in Phoenix. So probably gonna get a lot of people coming here. And hopefully with me having that 1 hour advance delivery notice, I do get that vehicle booked. So I have a 10% boost on that. So right now, if someone were to book that vehicle, let's say today through say Tuesday or Wednesday, my rate with the 10% boost would be 101 a day. So I'm definitely trying to capture that booking, capture any last minute bookings. hopefully it'll be a nice 5, 6, or even 7 day booking. Now, of course, if they run for 7 days, they're going to give a little bit of a bigger discount, so it may not be the 101. But yeah, so that's kind of some things that I wanted to touch on, make a video for you guys, and utilize some of the information for your own Turo business. Again, I'm just a one-man show, just got 2 cars. Eventually maybe I'll get a 3rd car, but other than that, I can't see myself taking a big leap of faith into Turo and getting 10, 12 cars, 8 cars. My maximum will probably be 3. So yeah, I mean, if you guys have any questions, any feedback, or if you've tried some of the settings that I talked about in this video that have helped me capture bookings when it's really slow, generally, not only this year in Phoenix, but last year, I was able to get so far 3 bookings, hopefully another couple before the end of the month. And yeah, so any feedback, just leave it in the comments. If you have any questions, let me know and I will get back to you. And other than that, I'll see you guys on the next video.